What runs Python? An interpreter. Well, CPython is an example of a Python interpreter. It is written in C and Python. That's why it's called CPython. And it's the default and most widely used implementation of the Python programming language. But we have something called PyPy there as well. PyPy is also another example of a Python interpreter. And according to Godot von Rossum, the creator of Python, if you want your code to run faster, you should probably just use PyPy. So yeah, PyPy is fast, and these are some main features of the PyPy Python interpreter. First thing is speed. It is found that PyPy is about 4.4 times faster on average than CPython. It's quite memory efficient as well. It is quite compatible with almost all the third-party Python libraries, and it supports stackless Python, which is an enhanced version of Python programming language which executes thread-based programs more efficiently than Python. We'll talk about stackless Python in some other video, but yeah. So motivation, according to the PyPy team behind PyPy, is that they aim to provide a compliant, flexible, and fast implementation of the Python programming language, which uses the RPython toolchain to enable new advanced high-level features without having to encode the low-level details, which simply means that it's quite customizable. And that's what they call PyPy. But here is a new word that we have, which is RPython, right? So what is RPython? Well, RPython is a language, a restricted subset of the Python programming language actually, and also it's a framework for implementing interpreters and virtual machines for dynamic programming languages such as Python. So what do you need to do to generate a PyPy interpreter using RPython? Well, first thing, you have to write some RPython code. You have to apply the RPython translation toolchain over it. And finally, you get your PyPy binary executable, which is your PyPy Python interpreter. So here is a flow diagram where we can see what all goes into generating a PyPy interpreter. You have to write some RPython source code, some low-level helpers, and some backend code which specifies the code for explicit exception handling and memory management. So first thing is RPython is converted to a flow graph, which is again converted to a low-level flow graph, and then you generate some C code out of it, and that C code, when compiled, generates an executable, which is your PyPy Python interpreter in case of Python, if you're running RPython for Python programming language. So here is a vertical flow for you, that you take your RPython program, you do some flow analysis over it, you provide some annotations, you do some backend optimizations, and then there is some exception handling transformations done there, then some garbage collection transformers are provided, and finally you generate the C code, and then you compile that C code to generate the PyPy binary executable, and yeah, you get your PyPy Python interpreter. But now let's come to the main question, which is what makes PyPy fast? Because this is a main feature of it, right? So we need to know what makes PyPy so fast. Well, the answer is JIT compilation, or in simpler words, just-in-time compilation actually. So just-in-time compilation involves compilation at runtime rather than before the execution of your code. So a JIT compiler usually converts the source code or bytecode to machine code, which can be executed directly. The point is that the system continuously analyzes the code which is being executed and identifies the parts of code where speed up gained from compilation will outweigh the overhead of compilation. So these are generally the methods and loops in your code which can be compiled at runtime. So when an interpreter is written in RPython and translated into an executable, the executable contains a full virtual machine that can optionally include a JIT compiler, right? So PyPy has the JIT compiler, and the specific type of JIT compiler is a tracing JIT compiler. So PyPy has a tracing JIT compiler, And tracing JIT compilers are built on following basic assumptions that, first of all, the programs spend most of their runtime in loops, right? And several iterations of the same loop are likely to take similar code paths, which means that in most of the cases, the if conditions will provide you the same response. So you are trying to execute the same operations or the same commands in your loop a lot of times. So you can just compile all those cases and you can run your code faster. So the basic approach of tracing JITs is to only generate machine code for hot code paths of the commonly executed loops, and you can interpret the rest of your program normally. So yeah, this is what tracing JIT compiler is doing here and making your Python code run fast. Okay, so here is a final diagram which shows overall picture that you have your Python source code. You run it via a PyPy interpreter, in which first of all you have a bytecode compiler which simply converts your Python source code to bytecode, which is just an intermediate representation, easier to execute. And then in the virtual machine that you have, there is a tracing JIT compiler which continuously keeps looking for frequently executed code and converts that to machine code so that it can be executed faster. And finally, you get your output. As simple as that. But PyPy cannot speed up all your Python programs. There are two cases that you should be aware where PyPy will not be able to speed up your code. First is short running processes. So if you have a code which is not even lasting a few seconds, then the JIT compiler won't have enough time to warm up. By warm up, I mean that there will be nothing to be traced because your code is so short, and yeah, there is no point of running it with PyPy in that case. Also, if all the time in your code is spent in running runtime libraries and not actually running the Python code, then the JIT compiler will again not help, because the C functions are already optimized, right? So if you're just calling them through your runtime libraries, then PyPy is not going to do anything with that. It is just going to run that normally. So yeah, so these are some things that you need to keep in mind while using PyPy. Okay, enough theoretical knowledge. Now let us see how to actually use PyPy, right? So PyPy 3 is actually the Python 3 implementation. So you should be using PyPy 3. And in Ubuntu, what you have to do is just follow these 3 steps. First of all, add this repository, then update, and finally you can install PyPy 3. So this will install PyPy 3 for you. On Mac, you can simply use brew, homebrew. You can just do brew install PyPy 3 and that will do the job for you. But for Windows, you will have to actually need to go to this website pypy.org/download, and here you will have to go to Python 3.6 compatible binary executables, and you have to select Windows binary 32-bit. You have to just download it and that's it. Then you will be able to run PyPy 3. Okay, so these are the steps for installing PyPy 3. But how to install pip? So in order to install pip in Ubuntu, you will have to follow these 2 commands. You will have to get the get pip Python module, and then you have to run pypy3 getpip.py. So actually PyPy provides you something called ensure pip, but in Ubuntu that doesn't run. So in Mac and Windows, you can simply do pypy3-m ensure pip, and it will ensure that your system has pip for PyPy 3. But in Ubuntu, you will have to follow these 2 steps. So yeah, so these are the steps that you need to follow, and once you do that, you should be able to run PyPy 3. So here, as you can see, PyPy 3 is running for me with Python 3.6.9, right? And it works just like Python. There shouldn't be any change, right? So yeah, so now what we're gonna do for the rest of this video is we're just gonna try to check how much time it takes between a CPython interpreter and a PyPy interpreter to run a particular piece of code. We're just gonna do some testing kind of thing, benchmarking. Well, you cannot say that it's benchmarking, but we just want to see how fast my code is running via PyPy. So first of all, let me show you the code that I have. So I'm using the timeit module for timing the function run. So this is a very simple function where there is a loop, and then I am just running timeit to repeat this function a lot of times, and then simply printing the average time it took to run all those repetitions, right? So I will simply do python 3 test.py and let us see on an average how much time is that function taking to run. Okay, so it seems to be taking some time, and it took 0.08 second per loop, per iteration of, per call of that function actually, right? And now let us do pypy3 test.py and look at that, 0.002. So yeah, you can see that PyPy is obviously a lot faster by large magnitude, right? So for simple codes where you have some hard code paths like these kind of loops, then PyPy is for sure gonna speed up your program with that tracing JIT compiler, right? So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed getting a brief introduction to PyPy and you'll be using it in the future. If you still have any doubts, you can put them in the comment section below. That's it from this video. Thanks for watching.